Hey guys, how are you? Thanks for joining. So we're continuing our conversation from a couple days ago before Christmas with regards to the safety of Aerolase Laser. How is it safe? Why is it safe? What makes it safe? We're going to keep on talking a little bit about that. And we're also going to have a little conversation about products as well. So make sure you stay through the entire live so you can get that product info too. Couple of housekeeping duties. Don't forget to join the email and text list anytime we have specials or any special events or any new information. Everybody on the email and the text list gets it first. So you want to make sure you go ahead and join that. You can click the link in bio and join the list, okay? Make sure you do that. And also, don't forget, we have openings for New Year's. So New Year, new skin, right? First opening is going to be on January 5th, 2024, so make sure you go ahead to the link in bio, click on book an in-person appointment, and get your time slot in so that you can start getting your skincare journey on for 2024. All right, guys, so let's get into it. So a little bit of a recap on what we talked about last time. So we talked about the safety of Aerolase, and one of the features that makes this laser safe, we talked about the energy distribution. What does that mean? It means the control that you can have with regards to how the energy gets out of the machine and onto the client's skin. So we talked about the control because of the fact that it's an intermittent pulse. That means that the pulse is just not firing the entire time you have it going on. There's spaces in between. It follows a rhythm. And I get to set what the rhythm is, if I want the rhythm to be pretty quick or if I need to be pretty slow. So that's a very huge safety point and measure with regards to this laser machine. The fact that it is not a continuous beam of laser going off, it's actually super controlled, and either it's controlled by the rhythm that I set on the machine or the rhythm that I set myself on how I want each pulse to go off. Let's go ahead and recap what that actually looks like so it makes sense. So if I wanted to set the pace for this machine, I can do that. And every time that I fire, it's firing at a specific speed or pace. I can also change how I want this rhythm to be set by me controlling how it goes. So let's see. I just want one pulse. I can do that. If I want to, I can do that. I can decide how I want each and every fire of a pulse to go. So again, that control is super important and really big deal with regards to safety. Another couple of things I want to talk about today is with regards to the science, some of the sciencey stuff, the physics stuff that makes this safe. And I know it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes if you already gone on Google and looked it up yourself and you read it and you're wondering, what the heck does that even... Let's talk about the first data point, 650 microseconds. What does that even mean? So in the world of skin, there is a time and point where it can overheat if you put too much energy on it. Having that 650 microsecond space in between each and every pulse, that's going to allow the skin to never get to the point where it's overheating. And that's one of the main reasons why when you use Aerolase for skin laser treatments, you have little to no downtime. So you're not allowing damage to take place. You're not allowing the skin to overheat. You're not allowing the skin to get burned. Huge safety feature. The other data point is 1064 nanometers. What does that mean? Okay, so that's talking about the wavelength. Let me give you guys a little opportunity to use your imagination here. And let's think about a race at a track meet. You've got the folks who are sprinters, and then you have the folks who are long distance runners. And as you know, when the sprinters hear that firing of the gun, they're off and running. They're coming out the blocks super fast, hot and heavy, and they're getting to the finish line as fast as possible as they can to win the race, right? And that is one type of laser. It's constantly on, it's going at a really high pace, there's no breaks in between pulses, it gets super hot and it is firing away. Then you have the 1064, that wavelength. Think of that as like a long distance runner. They're gonna hear that gun fire off and they're going to pace themselves and go a longer distance around the track. And make sure they keep their pace because they have a longer distance to go. And that's what 1064 is with Aerolase. Think of it as that long distance runner. It's gonna take a lot longer to get to where it needs to go because it's gonna go deeper, okay? It has a longer path to travel. And because of the fact that this wavelength is long and deep, it's gonna get to the root of the issue. So if it's hyperpigmentation, if it's an acne problem, if it is treating a vein, removing moles, whatever that issue is, it's gonna actually get to the root of the problem because it's traveling a lot longer at a controlled pace. So think of Aerolase as your long distance runner, okay? So those are the two main data points of safety and efficacy that I think is super important for you guys to understand with regards to Aerolase Laser. Okay, so remember now, we're going to have those pauses in between each and every pulse, kind of like what I did with the demo, and that's going to allow your skin to never overheat and never burn. It's also going to allow the target area to be the only area that is going to be treated and concentrated on. Again, not allowing burn or damage to any of the surrounding tissue. Very important. Then think of that long distance runner as your 1064 wavelength. Because it's going a longer distance, it can travel further. It can really get to the root of the issue. And actually, now that we're talking about that, let me put another imagery in your brain. When we are treating things like something as simple as laser hair removal, you have zero downtime. And also, I am noticing that my clients are seeing results earlier on in the series. So by the time they're hit like their third treatment, they're seeing results that are surpassing other laser treatments as far as where that's lying in the series. So the results I'm seeing after the third visit, I might have seen in the past only if I've had visit number 7 or 8. So again, it's traveling that long distance and getting to the root of the issue so well that it's producing results so much faster. So keep those two things in mind as far as the safety issues are concerned. And also remember what we talked about the other day with regards to that controlled pulse. So those are some of the safety features and benefits with regards to Aerolase Laser. Next time we come together on live, we're going to have a conversation about autoimmune diseases. So some autoimmune diseases like PCOS, like hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, and so much more that we're going to get into further detail on our next live conversation, and some of those skin-related issues associated with those autoimmune diseases and how Aerolase can help with some of those skin-related issues. So that's going to be the conversation for our next live session. I want to pivot a little bit and talk a little bit about products. A couple of DMs that I've received over, I want to say, the last few months, all about products. You know, we've gotten a lot of folks out here, celebrity status, endorsing products at some of, I think, maybe the highest rate I've seen in a very long time. And a lot of folks have questions whether or not this is a right fit for them. And being able to understand if a product is right for you really saves folks a lot of wasted time, wasted money, and the accumulation of products in that little drawer somewhere that nobody's allowed to see. I like to call it the product graveyard. I think it's time that we spend some time understanding exactly how to identify if a product is right for you. It's time for you guys to get a little bit of Mirror Skin Lab in your brain and in your wallet so that you can make great choices with regards to selecting good products. First up, if you don't understand your skin type, you are never going to win at the game of picking skincare products. It's extremely important for you to understand exactly what your skin type is before you can make the right decision when it comes to selecting skincare products. If you are unclear as to whether or not you are a dry skin person, oily skin, normal, combination, and also do these states of skin change with different seasons. If you don't have a clear understanding of that, you're basically going to lose each and every time. So it's time that we understand what our skin type is, okay? So I think that's the first step that we're going to take in for future live discussions. And I'm gonna help you guys identify exactly where you fall on the skin type spectrum so that you know how to pick the right skincare products. If you get your skincare products and you've done your homework, you read the back of the list, you Googled every ingredient, and you've understood what the concentration of every ingredient in a product is, but you don't know your skin type, how are you gonna know if this thing is gonna be a right match for you? So let's take the first step to building the block in product knowledge, and that's knowing your skin type. And hopefully now that we're in the winter season, a lot of parts of the country, you have made the transition to your winter skincare. If you haven't done that yet, then you definitely need to be joining these live discussions where we talk about what your skin type is so that you know how to make the right adjustments according to seasons and product purchases. So we're gonna get into that in the next discussion. I'm gonna help you guys understand what your skin type is so that you can be a smarter person purchasing your skincare products moving along in the future, okay? So join us on the next session. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Aerolase Laser, some of the features and benefits, what it can do for you. We're gonna specifically target in on folks with autoimmune skin related issues. And then we're gonna talk about identifying your skin type so that you can make